is a big part of Mo Williams, me. But for some reason, I can't seem to find a top 50 player of all time on this list, on this roster. As if the team was supposed to stay the same when the guy that was literally the center of the offense left the team. I mean, somebody pointed out to me, because whenever I hear people on television and other sports pundits saying this stuff, they're saying it with just easy claim without adding the context to it. Because the Bulls definitely retained Scottie Pippen, who's a top 50 player of all time. You know, we just kind of like just act like Scottie Pippen wasn't that good, and act like when he left, the Bulls were, or when Michael Jordan left, the Bulls were just going to regress to the bottoms of means when they still had Scottie Pippen and most of their championship roster. But hey, I got something for the Jordan. I got something for the LeBron stans. Here we go. Now, here's one thing LeBron stans don't want you to know. Okay, the last year of Jordan's second three-peat, his team won 62 games. Okay, now guess how many wins they had the next year? 13. Yeah, they had 13. Now let me tell you what the roster that had 13 wins had. What kind of roster they were playing with? Okay, let me give you those guys' names: Brent Barry, Corey Benjamin, Mario Bennett, Keith Booth, Randy Brown, Mark Bryant, Corey Carr, Cornell David, Ron Harper, Charles Jones, Tony Kukoc, Andrew Lang, Rusty LaRue, Dickie Simpkins, and Bill Wennington. Okay, now one thing you'll notice about that team. Now I'm gonna read you off. It's kind of funny when you add context to things and you actually see how manipulative how it can be when people just say things and they don't actually, apply contexture to a lot of things. Okay, so when you actually add context to things, you can realize, oh, you know what? For one, they lost the top 10 guy of all time, or a top 5 player of all time, and they lost the top 50 guy of all time. Okay, now let me read you the championship roster the year prior to that year, so I can be fair on both sides and show you how much of a difference the teams were, and how many of their championship pieces, how many people were pivotal to their championship run they kept. Keith Booth, Randy Brown, Judd Buechler, Scott Burrell, Jason Caffey, Ron Harper, Michael Jordan, Steve Kerr, Joe Klein, Tony Kukoc, Rusty LaRue, Luke Longley, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Dickie Simpkins, David Vaughn, and Bill Wennington. So you lost 3 Hall of Famers from that roster, okay? You lost Steve Kerr, who was a pivotal clutch shooter. You lost Ron Harper, who was a clutch defender and good 3-point shooter. Or, well, let me not say good. Let me not stretch and say good, but he was a key defender. Then you also lost Tony Kukoc, who was a key piece to that championship team. And people are acting like, and people don't, but nobody ever acknowledges this departure of Jordan. When Jordan retired the second time, and then the team went down to 13 wins when they lost all their pieces. Because you know what? When LeBron leaves a team, the reason why the team gets so bad, because LeBron is the system. The Bulls had the triangle offense in their system. And the thing is, when Jordan left the first time, they still had the triangle offense and Scottie Pippen and most of their championship pieces. So I hate this narrative that, LeBron leaves a team, the team is just terrible. No, stop. Okay? Add some actual nuance into your argument, okay? And you add some nuance to it, all of a sudden the LeBron argument gets a lot weaker. I'm not saying there is no argument there at all, but it definitely gets a lot weaker, okay? So this is not to cast any aspersion on LeBron James or anything like that. LeBron is a great player, and here's one thing also that a lot of people should acknowledge. LeBron's gonna pass Michael Jordan in statistics because he's gonna play longer. He's already matched Michael Jordan in games played because he came in the league younger, and because Jordan retired in different junctures of his career. Think about it. You've already seen the dip in Michael Jordan. You've seen the field goal percentage dip and all that when he was 40 years old, okay? So when we talk about, LeBron shoots a higher percentage than Michael Jordan, yeah, he does. But here's the thing. You're not taking into account the fact that Michael Jordan shot 41% as a 38-year-old, and then 44.5%, which is actually pretty good for a 39-year-old turned 40. Okay, so let's keep things into perspective, and we're also calculating in Michael Jordan's scoring dips when he averaged 22.9 and 20 points per game as a Wizard. Like, you're not taking in all the statistical dips from when he played as a Wizard. He's already hit his downfall. We're comparing upscale LeBron at his peak to a Michael Jordan that's already hit his peak, was started at his youngest, and then has already hit his downfall, okay? So Michael Jordan is going to obviously get passed by LeBron in all statistics, maybe except points, and Michael Jordan did take more shots than LeBron has up to this point. But Michael Jordan also played against tougher defenses. Like, we're acting like the eras don't matter in terms of just watching the game. A lot of people are trying to make these arguments. They don't watch games. Michael Jordan played against more physical defenses, way tougher schemes and well, I mean, not say schemes because now that you have the invention of the zone defense and all that LeBron has had to go up against. But how you counter zone defenses? 3-point shooting. Guess me. For those listening, what does LeBron got on his team? Y'all tell me. He got a lot of 3-point. There's a theme here, doesn't it? Isn't it? There's a pattern here. What did LeBron leave his Cleveland team for? Because it was too difficult for him to win on the team that didn't have enough pieces to help him win. I mean, I'm not making this stuff up, y'all. I'm just saying Michael Jordan stuck it out. He played that. He kept running into the wall of those Pistons that were the most physical NBA team of NBA history. There's no argument. The Pistons were the most physical team. The bad boy Pistons were the most physical NBA team of all time. Michael Jordan went up against those guys and eventually beat them. He obviously went through his trials. He didn't leave his team to go get more weapons and stuff to come back and beat the Pistons team, which is what LeBron did with the Celtics. Now, I support LeBron's decision to leave. You can make the best decision for your career, but when you're comparing him to Jordan, all these things get taken into account. Like, you can't just ride these things off as if they don't matter. They all matter. All right, so that's just my opinion on this whole Michael Jordan LeBron debate as it stands right now. Okay, I know some people will, LeBron has accomplished great things in his career. Beating a 73-9 Golden State Warriors team, the greatest accomplishment of LeBron's career. Coming back from 3-1 down, greatest accomplishment of LeBron's career. But you want to know a reason why Jordan never had to beat those teams? A 73-9 team. Why Jordan never had to beat, a Golden State Warriors team that was streaking all throughout the time? You want to know why Jordan never beat those teams? Man, I just can't seem to put my finger on it. You want to know why? Because Jordan was the 72-10 team. And you know what? Jordan never got beat. That's what it was. Jordan didn't get beat in the finals. Jordan got beat prior to the finals, but then when he got good enough, he never got beat prior to the finals again. People will try to acknowledge the Orlando series when he first came back from retirement, and anybody will tell you NBA conditioning, it takes you a whole offseason to get your legs back, if anything, half the season to get your win in the NBA. So you're trying to tell me him coming back to play 17 games or so is enough games for him to get his NBA win, and he still played well. Like, people, man, I'm telling you, these arguments are construed, y'all. These arguments are construed. But all right, y'all, I'm gonna head to my second break of the night. When I come back from the break, I'm gonna be talking about New York Giants head coach Ben McAdoo and two players feeling as though he's essentially lost the locker room. Stay tuned to hear my thoughts on that issue. It's KBR Sports, the best sports talk show 24-hour day. Remember, you all can follow, subscribe to the KBR Sports podcast. We're on Rabble TV, Spreaker, YouTube, iTunes, and SoundCloud. That way, you all will be notified whenever the KBR Sports podcast is streaming live and whenever the podcast is posted. Don't forget, the show also streams every Monday, Wednesday, and select Fridays from 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. All right, y'all, stay tuned for the next topic. It's KBR Sports.